I love Hirano and Kagiura to such an insane degree, it's not even funny anymore. I love everything about them, from they both, of course, the both main characters, their bond, and the way it deepens, to the other side characters, to the school, to every moment, thought, feeling, everything that they share with each other. And I love all of this because the manga makes me care about all these small and significant moments. It makes me care about every single thought bubble, every panel, because it has that level of detail and attention to it. Every single moment shows something more about their life and about them, that it just makes it so much more special and important because of it. Saba, Hirano, and Kagiura. Their dynamic is so perfect. I mean, who would not love the dynamic of this golden retriever of a guy and this motherly figure, stoic Hirano? It's so perfect, and every interaction of theirs is just so heartwarming to watch because of how well they both mesh with each other and how well their dynamic is because of it. And we see the manga also appreciate their absolute heartwarming interactions as well, as many chapters keep ending with the note of Kage feeling just so happy, appreciated, and special because of the treatment Hirano gives him. And it's because of how special Hirano makes him feel and how he loves everything that he does for him that his feelings begin to grow and he falls in love with him in the first place. And it is this shared everyday normal life that they have that make both of them see each other as being special, and so glad that they both get to share these ordinary and simple moments with each other because it they feel it as well. They feel that warmth and that connection that we see them feel when they are having and sharing these moments with each other. And it's just so beautiful to see because even when Kagi's feelings grow and he does want Hirano to see whether he can think of him as a romantic partner as well, his definition of a romantic of what being in a relationship or having a romantic partner comes from his parents. And his parents' bond is what he describes as being best friends. They are so close with each other, they tease each other, and they're so casual that he wants that as well. That's what he likes, and that's what he sees him and Hirano having. He thinks they have that same kind of bond, that same dynamic that their parents have, that they could be more than friends. And another thing is that he feels cared for, loved, and appreciated while being with Hirano, and that's why he wants to have more because of it. And even though he wants to have more because of it, it doesn't make the simple moments not mean much. In fact, it makes it mean even more because this is what makes him want to be with Hirano. This is what he wants. This is what they have, is what he loves so much that he wants him to see it as special, see it as being as special of moments as he sees it, as Kagi feels of it. And this in the end, these simple everyday moments become the bridge which Hirano needs to being able to understand Kagi as well. He doesn't understand Kagi's feelings or how or the way that he feels love because it's not something that he feels. But what he does understand is that he loves these moments as well. He loves sharing it with Kagi as well. He loves doing things for him. He likes seeing how Kagi feels so happy and just so, and it just makes all the efforts that he puts into just so worth it because it's for him. And he loves being with him. It's just so fun. And he says it multiple times as to how fun and soothing and relaxing and how he just loves being with Kagi, how he has those moments where he shows his brightest smile with him. And it's so heartwarming to see. And that's when he starts thinking that this is what he loves so much. Can this be his definition of love as well? And it helps him find his own definition of love because his definition of love doesn't have to be what others consider to be love or not. And it doesn't have to be what other people consider to be romantic love as well. Despite even when Kagiura's love or feelings for Hirano go beyond being just friends because he does want to be physically closer with him as well and everything, these feelings that he gets is because he feels that, because again, he gets these feelings within him, not because these are different or more than the feelings that the feelings that he has of wanting to spend his everyday life with Hirano, but an extension of that. It's still a part of that same love. And even though, again, he doesn't have that same feeling as Kagi does for him of wanting to be physically closer, what makes him understand that he wants to give Kagi more of what he wants to try being closer to him, he wants to try finding his own definition and wanting to love him and wanting to be with him as close as he can because he realizes that every moment that he shares with him is special. And the reason why this is so ingenious is because I feel like in a lot of conceptions about romance and a lot of depictions of romance, it is, and love in particular, because I feel like Hirano and Kagira show love without the romance part of it, because it is love in its most rawest and fundamental form. Because a lot of, again, another medias and works show love as being something more than friendship, something excluding, something that sets the line, the boundary between friendship and something more, that sets the boundary between being just usual things you do and then the extraordinary things that you do with the person you care about. But Hirano and Kagiura show love as being, it is these everyday regular things that become special when you love the person. They are these simple mundane activities that you do with someone that starts meaning so much more because of the feelings you put into it, the feelings the other person feels and reciprocates, that every moment with them becomes special. And this is in 100% because of the way Sensei depicts their love. Sensei puts in so much effort to show about how each of these intimate moments, these every touch, every thought, every meal they share means so much to them that you start feeling their love that they put into it. You start feeling as to how many feelings and thoughts go behind every single moment that they have, that you start seeing that these are also an expression of love. Hirano and Kagira both, when they express their love to each other, find 100 and a million ways to say I love you and express their loves with each other, despite some being unconventional forms of expressing love and some being, well, unconventional forms of telling love. Because in Hirano and Kagira, even giving a meal to someone is saying I love you. Even thinking about them is I love you. Even trying to understand their feelings is a way of saying I love you. Every single thought of consideration, every single action, everything that they do with each other becomes a means of telling their love, because it's with each other, and because each of them pours their feelings into everything, into every moment and every time and every interaction that they share, that their interactions become so special, their dynamic becomes so special, and you get to genuinely empathize with their characters and see through their lenses how important and special this person is, by making every mundane moment that they share, that Hirano shares with Kagira, and inverse, Kagira shares with Hirano, so special. You get to see how it means so much to the both of them, how both of them just feel that those feelings that they treasure so much, that they keep thinking about, they keep ruminating about, that they feel so happy about, the way their precious smiles light up the page when they are with each other, that we understand their love, we feel the intensity and strength of their love without having overtly signs of affection. Yes, we do have moments where they are very physically close, or we can have some indication that, okay, yeah, this is something that you would do with lovers. A lot of times, what I feel their best forms of love, or their best depictions of love that make me choke and cry on the floor, is when it isn't obvious. When Hirano keeps thinking of Kagiura, and he realizes that he wants to give him more, that even though he has his boundaries, even though there are things that he doesn't want to do, there are the other things that he can do, he wants to be able to give it to him. And that thought and that consideration of loving him, despite him not being completely against it, but not feeling anything particular about physical touch, but if that is something that makes Kagi happy, if that is something that he loves, then he wants to be able to give it to him. He wants to be able to make him happy. Is so beautiful, and all of this is something that he doesn't say. And we don't get any physical or overt signs of this love, but it's all in the thought that he feels, and it's all in every single thing that he thinks about, and the way he keeps thinking and trying to understand him through all the 5 months, and even now as he keeps thinking about him. This is what I feel is the most purest, sincerest, and devoted form of love that makes me really makes me feel them so much. And not all of the moments of love that they share with each other are this pleasant. There are moments where Hinano feels bad for not being able to understand Kagi. There are moments where Kagi feels restless, he feels impatient, where he wants that love from Hirano, where he thinks that he wants to make him love him. There are these conflicting emotions that he has, but in the end, it is both the conflicting emotions, both the wars that the both of them have to undertake to be able to understand each other, to be able to be with each other, that is also a depiction of their love. That in the end, even though he feels that strain, he feels that impatience of wanting to have more and more with Hirano, which he still puts up with because it's him. He puts up with all the feelings that he has. He puts up with every conflicting thing that he feels because it's Hirano, because he makes it so worth it. And in the end, he still finds every single insignificant moment that they spend together to be special, despite having all these feelings. He still finds every effort that Hirano takes to understanding him to be so important that he starts falling in love with him even more despite it. And he knows and he feels that despite all the conflicts that he has to put through all the back and forthing that both of them have to go through to understanding and making their bond even deeper, and ensuring that both of them feel accommodated and understood. It's like the efforts that they put in together, it's like it's all worth it because it is for the one that they love. And I love the way Hirano and Kagiura says, again, the way they say I love you in a million different ways, in a million different actions, in a million different forms, and with so much integrity and emotion. It feels so raw and human that I don't know if I'll ever see this anywhere else. And I know that this is exactly why I was so drawn, and I am so drawn to them, and also what makes them so relatable to me personally, with a lot of connections that I have. It makes me really feel like when I have bonds with people, I just really think about them and feel like, oh yeah, I even have the same conflicting feelings that they have, with whether it be my friends, whether it not be my friends, whether it be through any interaction. It's so universal, yet it's still so intimate and precious. And that balance which Sensei has used to write this it is perfection. It is the perfection of writing, and it is complete perfection, because the efforts that she takes to showing every single moment, to showing every thought, every dialogue, and even their school life, and even the rest of how they just go about their day and everything, all of it is their love. Every single one of that is love. It is not that their love is a distinction to their everyday life. It is not the moments where we are not directly seeing on screen the progression of their love or their conflicts that is irrelevant. It is all together. It exists with harmony with everything around it, and it is, in the end, these mundane moments are what make their love very special. So the setting, which is their high school days and them just going through it. I feel this is a very important aspect of the manga, because I feel like this lays the tone for the kind of story that Hirakagi is, and it also is the everyday lives of our characters that mean a lot to them, and these everyday life which they share with each other that make it really special and important, just like their acts of love and affection. So their everyday life is very mundane and very ordinary, and manga goes out of its way to show how ordinary and mundane it is. But this is exactly how our characters experience it, and that's all it needs to be, because it is their everyday life, and that is why it means a lot to them, because they are experiencing it and they're going through it, and it doesn't have to be anything more. It doesn't have to have anything more to it for it to be able to be an important part of their lives. It is because they're going through it. That's why it's important in the first place. And it is also the high school setting shows in the way the characters are, because both of them value qualities that a school could foster, such as being diligent, putting in effort, wanting to try your hardest, and trying new things. All these things that a school is supposed to be a place to help the students to nurture these feelings in them. Hirano feels inspired and motivated when he sees Kagi put his best in basketball. The way Kagi is so energetic in wanting to do physical activity, keep practicing, and wanting to win. He admires these qualities in Kagi in the first place. And also, Kagi feels the same for Hirano. He admires Hirano and looks up to him for how diligent he is in his studies, and how he just is able to study on end. That is something that he's not able to. And it's because they look up to each other in these two qualities, and they're able to help each other in these things that the other does not have, that it even becomes a space for them to deepen their bond with. Yes, it is mundane, it is peaceful, it is everyday, it is just an everyday routine, but our characters, they live in this moment, and their love and everything that we see of them is shown through the lens of this mundane, everyday, ordinary life. That even their love and even their moments that they share with each other, a majority of them, and this does not make it any less important, by the way, majority of the moments are of their everyday life, of them looking after each other and doing things and acts of consideration that help each other weave through these high school years. And it is, I feel, and it is just this way that they're able to just help each other and get along and, make each other's high school life experience just a little bit better, that sets off their great dynamic in the first place. It's because Hirano just puts in that extra bit of consideration for Kagi being his roommate, and just that extra bit of care for looking after his kohai that makes him feel loved, cared, and validated, and show that love in return to Hirano, which makes Hirano feel grateful for the efforts that he feels appreciated for the efforts that he puts into Kagi, and that sets off their beautiful dynamic in the first place, just being a little considerate, a little caring, and making their high school lives just a little better. That makes them want to do more and blossoms their bond into the beautiful bond that they have and that we see of them today. It's not that their moments with each other, their love and their bond is separate from their everyday lives, but it is part of their everyday life and a reflection of the lives that both of them have led that make their bond and that show in their bond and the way they show their love to each other and the way both of them are able to receive it and appreciate the other for it. Just as raw and unfiltered is the setting that is presented in Hirakage, the love in Hirakage is also presented in such a raw and unfiltered way. And it's just amazing because we have Kage who depicts his love in physical acts of affection, wanting to get closer to Hirano. That is love as well. And Hirano, whose main form of love comes in his thoughts, that when he thinks of Kage, when he wants to do things for him, when he thinks about him and he's wondering about how he's doing, about how he feels flattered when he sees Kage smile, and when he knows that Kage is always thinking about him, these subtle actions are what love is for Hirano, but both of their love is just as special as the other, and both of them are valid depictions of love. And it's amazing the way that the manga balances and contrasts these two loves at the same time, never breaks away from the core feeling that goes behind these different ways of expressing love, that the core feeling is the same even when the expressions or the way that both of our characters depicted is different. Because in the end, love is not that there is no boundary that says that this is romantic love or this is platonic love, because for Hirano, even though he knows that the love that he feels for Kage might not be specifically romantic love, this is love for him. This is enough for him to want to consider Kage as a romantic partner, because every single of his actions that he does that might not be considered as romantic love for him are actions which he would only share with Kage. And that's why they have meaning. That's why they mean so much. It's because he gives it that importance, because it is Kage. And for Kage, even though he feels he wants to have physical intimacy and wants to get way closer to Hirano, the reason he feels this way, or the way that all these feelings are brought about in him, is because of how loved and cared Hirano makes him feel, that he wants to have these with him. And it's because that he feels a strong love for him that he wants to share these acts and show these acts of love and intimacy with Hirano. And I just love the segment where Ichinose says that for love, it's different for every person. For some people, they might have different definitions of love or different things that they might want to do with the people they love, but there is no standard, there is no definition, there is no fixed rule that this is what you have to do with the person you love or this is what you want to do. It's based on the person themselves, because when you feel love and you feel the urge of wanting to share moments, wanting to do things with them, wanting to be closer to them, those actions become love because of the feeling you put in it, not because of the fact that the love is depicted in such a way. Even if Kage wants to show physical intimacy and closeness, that is love just as much as Hirano's subtle expression of love is love as well. It's because of the feelings that both of them pour into it and the importance that both of them give to it, that it becomes and has that meaning. And I love this way that Hirakage talks about love without making it romantic, without having the romantic lens through which it talks about its love. Its love is real, raw, human, and really makes you break out of your comfort zone to understand, because so far we have not have any what do you call way of knowing that okay, they are romantically related. We are in this sort of relationship because they did so and so act together. It makes us break out of our comfort zone. This is what I love about reading Hirakagi, that I am broken out of my comfort zone, that I have to go and analyze their actions, read about their thoughts intently, read about their feelings, try to understand and piece together what they're feeling and how both of them are dealing with their emotions, because everything, and I love it so far, there's in their actions, in their actions, and the way they give their importance to it, and the thoughts that they have behind the actions that they do, and through that you understand it. It makes you understand their love through the core, through what they put in it, through how the characters feel through it, more than their depictions or what we're shown of it. And that's what I've been saying, that the way Hirakagi makes you empathize with the characters, the way it makes you so easily slip into the minds of these characters, even though I am more of a Kagi myself, it makes me understand Hirano, where I understand that even though he has his boundaries, there are some things that he doesn't like, and there are some ways where some things like wanting to kiss someone is not how he wants to show his love for him. His own form of love is still so special and important, and that love that he has, the way that he wants to show his love for Kagi is wanting to give Kagi as much as how much he can give him. And it turns into this beautiful, selfless form of love, despite not being able to give him, not being able to give him exactly what he wants or wanting to kiss him. But but then he still strives to be able, and he still feels satisfaction and joy whenever he's able to be more okay with Kagi's physical intimacy with him. And I just think that's so beautiful, the way you're really made to look at love as a feeling, as an emotion, as this real emotion that our characters are feeling, and the way they enact it, which makes it so much more real, alive, genuine, and so intense, by showing it in its raw and truest form rather than its depictions of it. And this is why Hirakagi really stands out as a manga to me, because I really am made to understand them, understand love, and understand all these core things by understanding the characters and how they depict it, how they express it through their emotions, interactions, through their moments that they share with each other. It's not based on the label that they give it or any definitive thing that we are given, but based on the space that they share and the way both of them conflict and contrast with each other in depicting their love and understanding each other's love, and together understanding what love is and means to the both of them. And it's so beautiful. So that's it for my unscripted rant session of Hirakagi. And if you put up with all my stuttering, repetition, and lack of English fluency through this video, then that's great. The thoughts I want to leave this video with is, I need more Ichinose content. I need to see more of him. I love him so much. He means so much to me. He's literally my favorite character in the entire Hirakagi, and I think he's such an interesting character. I want to see more of him, and it's so criminal how little we see of him. But I love the manga. I completely respect Sensei's decision to write whatever they want to write in the manga. But yes, more Ichinose, I would be very happy for any crumb, anything more that we would get to see of him.